Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to this live English lesson. My name is Jacob from jacobteacher.com. I hope you're doing well. If you have never been here before, if this is your first time seeing my face, make sure to click on that button that says subscribe below. It's a big red button. You can't miss it. Click on it, and then you will be notified. Also, if you click the bell icon, when I release new videos. So thank you to everyone who is watching right now. If you're watching the replay, thank you too. And let me know in the comment section where you are watching from. I've got a great lesson for you today. Today's lesson is going to be about grammar. And hopefully, I know that grammar can be a little boring sometimes, but hopefully we can make this lesson exciting for you. So recently, there was a video on YouTube that went viral. A piece of garlic bread was launched into space, and the people who launched it into space ate the garlic bread after it came back down to Earth. Actually, I don't think it was launched technically into space, but into the stratosphere, which is the second layer, I think, of the Earth's atmosphere. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm an English teacher. So anyways, it's an interesting video. The full video is down below. And I want to do a little bit of a listening test to warm up. We're going to watch part of the video and see if you guys can hear what this British YouTuber is saying. Let me first say hello to everyone watching. Patricia, Sahar, Faika, Lulit, Sahar, Patricia, Vivian, Johnny, Carol, Rosangela, Shridan. Hello. Thank you for watching, all of you guys. So let's switch screens here. And hello AE2, I see you there. Supapina from Thailand. Hello. Let's switch screens here and get started. This is the thumbnail of the video that I was telling you about. Garlic bread to the edge of space. And here is this YouTuber who launched this garlic bread into space. YouTube personality Tom Scott published a video Monday, April 23rd, in which a weather balloon rises 22.2 miles, 35.8 kilometers above the Earth's surface and parachutes down, carrying a half loaf of buttery, Parmesan-topped garlic bread. Sounds very delicious. Okay, so let's watch the video. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to show you the video in which I've added subtitles, and I'm going to show you part of the video in which there is a blank space for you to test your listening skills. And what I want you to do is listen and fill in the blank in the chat room. Okay? We'll listen to it one time. It comes at the very end, and then we'll watch the video with all of the subtitles filled in. Okay? So get ready. It's going to come fast. Here we go.
All sorts of food items have been launched into the stratosphere. The BBC sent wedding cake up as part of a children's show, but the punchline at the end was that no one actually ate it. I've yet to find any balloon-launched food that was actually eaten after landing. And the main reason for that is you have no idea where it's going to land, what it's going to land in, or what animals will have got to it first.
All right, did you guys catch that? Let me know in the comments section. Why don't we watch it one more time, and then I'll check back later. Okay, here we go, one more time. Let's watch that.
All sorts of food items have been launched into the stratosphere. The BBC sent wedding cake up as part of a children's show, but the punchline at the end was that no one actually ate it. I've yet to find any balloon-launched food that was actually eaten after landing. And the main reason for that is you have no idea where it's going to land, what it's going to land in, or what animals will have got to it first.
All right, so I think that was enough time. Let's see. Animals got fast. Not quite. Did you guys hear that? It's a British accent. I know he has quite a strong accent, so it might be a little bit difficult to understand, especially if you're used to listening to me and other American English accents. Would got to it first. Interesting. Let's listen to it one more time now with the subtitles all filled in. Okay, so you'll see the answer here. Here we go.
All sorts of food items have been launched into the stratosphere. The BBC sent wedding cake up as part of a children's show, but the punchline at the end was that no one actually ate it. I've yet to find any balloon-launched food that was actually eaten after landing. And the main reason for that is you have no idea where it's going to land, what it's going to land in, or what animals will have got to it first.
Okay, or what animals will have got to it first. That's what Mr. Tom Scott says, and that is what we will be studying today. So, he says, and the main reason for that is you have no idea where it's going to land, what it's going to land in, or what animals will have got to it first. And this last part of his sentence here, it's a big, complicated sentence, but this last part is what we're going to study, the future perfect tense. Okay, this is a tense in English that is not so commonly used, but it is important to know, and you can express some pretty cool ideas using this tense, or communicate some pretty cool ideas. Let's start with when do we use it, and I've included, it's kind of a complicated tense to explain in terms of when we use it. The simplest explanation that I found comes from the website Grammarly.com. Now, if you don't know what Grammarly is, it's also just a great add-on that you can add to your browser in Google Chrome, and it will help you correct your writing. They also run a blog and talk about grammar, and I've included the link below. It's a fantastic article. A lot of what I'm going to be teaching in this lesson comes from this article that they wrote. And in the article, they say the future perfect tense is for talking about an action that will be completed between now and some point in the future. Okay, so let's look at the sentence, for example. I will have finished the book by next Monday. I will have finished the book by next Monday. We'll talk about how to form it in a second, but this is an example of a sentence in the future perfect tense. So what does this mean? Let's try to understand this. I've got a diagram for you here. Imagine that we're saying this, so we're in the present, we're now, it is now, and we're talking about an action that will be completed sometime in the future, sometime between now and a future deadline. In this sentence, what's the deadline? Well, the deadline is next Monday. I will have finished the book by next Monday. So what this sentence means is sometime between now and next Monday, the book will be finished. We don't know precisely when, but we know that it will be finished in between that time interval. So perhaps it's in the middle of this graph here, finished book. Let's look at another example. Call me before 10 o'clock a.m. because I will have left by then. Imagine you're speaking with someone, your friend or whoever, and you're in a rush in the morning. You're going to leave your house by 10 o'clock a.m. So your friend is texting you and they want to know when they should call. You could say, call me before 10 o'clock a.m. because I will have left by then. So again, we're speaking now. We're in the present. When's the deadline? 10 o'clock a.m. What is going to happen in between now and 10 o'clock a.m.? Well, you're going to leave. That's what's going to happen. Again, we don't know precisely when. We just know that it is in between now and 10 o'clock a.m. So it's an action that will be completed sometime in the future, before 10 o'clock a.m. Here's a very complicated one, and then I'll shut up and let you guys practice your English in the chat room. I have a question for you, I promise. Here's a complicated one, though. 4 months from now, I will have been back in Canada for 1 year. 4 months from now, I will have been back in Canada for 1 year. And actually, let me just quickly talk about how this is formed too. I forgot to say that. It's fairly simple. It's I plus will plus have plus the past participle of the main verb. Okay, so in this example sentence, the verb is to be. I will have been back in Canada for 1 year. Now let's talk about this. It's tricky to think about the timing here. So we're speaking now. And what's the deadline? What am I talking about? What point in the future? 4 months from now. So 4 months from now, I will have been back in Canada for 1 year. Now, perhaps this is a little confusing because of the time, 1 year. I actually came back to Canada. This is a true story. I actually came back to Canada to live in Canada a while ago, many months ago. But 4 months from now, I will have been back in Canada for 1 whole year. So that's what I'm talking about here. Back in Canada for 1 year. I'm not talking about the date that I came back. I'm talking about the length of time that I've been in Canada. And again, I'm speaking casually here, so we don't know the precise moment when I will have been back in Canada for 1 year. We do know that it happens sometime between now and 4 months from now. It actually would happen, I think, on August 17th. I'm not sure. But if I'm speaking generally to a friend, if I'm not too concerned about the precise details, I could say I will have been back in Canada for 1 year, 4 months from now. It's a complicated sentence, but still using the future perfect. Let's use an easier one for you to practice. By this time next week, I will have... Tell me about something that you will have done, will have completed. Remember, you use the past participle. Will have blah, blah, blah. I will have gone. I will have asked. I will have seen. Let me know in the comment section. Okay. You know, someone commented on a video recently and told me that I slurp my coffee too much in these videos, so now I'm all self-conscious about that, and I will try not to slurp. How was that? Shridan Stefanovic asks, but which is the point of this? What is the point? Well, the point is I wanted to teach you the future perfect. I assume you're talking about the garlic bread at the beginning. It was just an interesting way of... I tried to make it at least an interesting way of introducing the future perfect tense. This garlic bread was launched into space and then eaten afterwards. Patricia says, by the time you finish this lesson, we will have learnt the future perfect. Perfect. Very nicely said. 4 months. Furat says, by this time next week, I will have got a driving test. I probably wouldn't use the verb got or get there, sorry. You could say I will have taken a driving test. By this time next week, I will have taken a driving test. You could also use have. By this time next week, I will have had a driving test. But taken is probably the best one there. Lulit says, I will have posted a new picture in Instagram. A better preposition to use there would be on Instagram. I will have posted a new picture on Instagram. We post things on Facebook. We post things on Instagram. We post things on Snapchat, although I've never used Snapchat myself. Fatima says, I will have traveled to Turkey. I will have traveled to Turkey. Good. By this time next week, I will have done my work. Good. Nice one, Masuma. Vivian, by this time next week, I will have done with an interview with the dean of my university on the phone. I would use I will have had or completed. You could use completed too. That would sound a little more natural, either of those. I will have completed an interview with the dean of my university on the phone. I will have had an interview with the dean of my university on the phone. Nice. By this time next week, I will have been in the Netherlands for 1 year. Very cool, Carol. I would love to travel there. And congratulations on your 1 year Netherlands anniversary. Furat, give me a full sentence. Junior, I will have watched The Walking Dead's new episode. Nice. Perfect sentence. I will have studied Future Perfect perfectly by this time next week. Nicely done, Patricia. Lots of perfects. Gone to Africa. Very cool. By this time next week, I will have turned 36 years old, says Rose. Well, happy birthday to you, Rose, in advance. See, this is a perfect example. I don't know exactly when... Sorry, Rosa. I don't know exactly when Rosa's birthday is. But I know that it's before this time next week, sometime before this time next week. Stefanovich, sorry, I think point of the garlic. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the point of the garlic bread is. In the video, they mention that people have sent stuff up into the stratosphere before, but no one has actually ever eaten food that they've sent up into the stratosphere. So, you know what, to be honest with you, they probably just wanted to make a viral video and send something up into space and be strange like that. But it's a pretty interesting video. I enjoyed watching it. Sahar, I'm not sure if I read your sentence. Type it again, maybe. I might have missed it. By the time next 2 weeks, Grace, you could say 2 weeks from now, I will have taught as a substitute. That's a better way to put it. 2 weeks from now, I will have taught as a substitute. And Masuma, past participle, I will have lost my weight. Good. And best of luck in your quest to lose weight. Hussein, I will have learned something from this channel. Cool. I will have been in English class. I will have started the rehearsals with my students for the final show at school. Good. By this time next week, my parents will have spent 2 days at my niece's. Nice. Johnny, by this time next week, I will have been studying English at the university. Cool. I will have been studying English at the university. Yeah. I will have seen my mom. Good, let's keep moving on. So I want to talk about negative sentences now. Negative sentences. Now, negative sentences are quite easy in the future perfect. Let's look at this guy. Imagine that he has not eaten in a very long time. You could say, at noon, I will not have eaten for 16 hours. So all you have to do to form negative sentences is put not in between will and have, or you can take will out and just write won't. At noon, I won't have eaten for 16 hours. Both of these sentences mean the exact same thing. It's up to you. You can choose what you like. Now, at noon, I will not have eaten for 16 hours. I was trying to do something like that at one time in my life. It's called intermittent fasting. And the idea is that, well, there are a number of different ways to do it, but the idea is that you don't eat for 16 hours of the day, including sleeping, and then you only eat during an 8-hour window. I was trying this a couple of years ago. It's supposed to boost muscle growth if you combine it with working out, and it is quite popular in the fitness industry, but it's difficult not eating for 16 hours a day. It was fun to try, though. So often when I was doing that, I said, at noon, I will not have eaten for 16 hours. By this time next week, I will not have spoken to my grandma for 5 months. And yes, that's exactly what my grandma looks like in the picture. I'm joking, of course. And I'm joking about not having spoken to her in 5 months. I actually called her a couple of weeks ago, so I'm not that horrible of a grandson. Okay, finish the sentence. Let's try something in the negative, perhaps a little bit more difficult to come up with a sentence, but give it a try. By this weekend, I will not have, or I won't have, blah, 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 blah. Let me know in the comment section. Let me see. There's quite a few here. By this time next week, I will have swam in the sea, hopefully. Very nicely done, Shridan. I love the sentence. And I'm jealous that you'll be able to swim in the sea in the coming week. Masuma, by this time next week, I will have passed my exams. Awesome. Congratulations. I will have finished my project by May. Nicely done. Grace, after landing back, trust me, that garlic bread is too hard and you couldn't taste the garlic and the butter. Well, at the end of the video, if you watch it, again, the link, if you want to watch the full video, is in the description. They do taste it, and it is quite hard. It rips off in an interesting way. Patricia, want, won't. Want, won't. One more time. I want to drink my coffee. I won't drink another cup of coffee after this because I've had too many already. Rosa, sorry, I've lost what you were referring to. Supapina, by this time next week, I will have been open shop online on Facebook. Very cool. Well, good luck to you, but here's how you would say that. By this time next week, I will have opened a shop online on Facebook. By this time next week, I will not have been late for 7 days. Well, Linald, cool. That's great to hear, and good luck. By this weekend, I won't have played football. Good. By this weekend, I will not have my paper finished. By this weekend, I will not have my paper finished. Good. I will not have visited my sister. I won't have checked my email for a month. Wow. Maybe you have quite a few emails waiting for you. Hopefully nothing that's too important. By this weekend, I will not have plucked the flowers. By this time in the next 2 weeks, I will not have smoken any cigarettes. Cool. Good for you, Rosa. And again, I would say 2 weeks from now, I will not have smoked any cigarettes. Smoking. Is that the past participle of smoke? I don't think so. I think I will not have smoked is better. I could be wrong about that, though, but I'm almost positive it's smoked. Mariano. By this weekend, I will not have washed my dog. All right. Well, I don't know how your dog feels about that. Talked to my best friend because we had a fallout, Vivian. Sorry to hear that. I hope things get better with you and your best friend. If it's a friend you want to keep around, that is. I won't have finished my exam. Good luck on your exam, Fatima. Patricia, I won't have lost all my weight. Well, keep fighting if that's something you're trying to do. Good, you guys. It seems like you've got this down. By this weekend, I will not have computer class for 3 days. You don't need there. Let's keep going and go to questions. Okay? So, questions are pretty easy too. All you do is you just change the word order a little bit. Will plus the subject plus have plus the past participle. Imagine that you want to call someone, but it's getting a little bit late, so you text them and maybe you say, I want to call you around 11 o'clock. Will you have gone to bed by then? Will you have gone to bed by then? Here's another one, a very common example of when we could use this. Imagine you're sending a package, or you want to send a package to someone. You're at the post office, and you're inquiring about how long it will take for the package to arrive. You could say, will the package have arrived by next Friday? Will the package have arrived by next Friday? Last thing that I want to complete with you today, one more writing exercise in the chat room. I want you to look at this and answer one of the following questions, and I want you to use any form of the present or of the future perfect that we've been studying today. Okay, so pick one of these. What is the baby thinking? What is the woman thinking? Or what is the man thinking? And let me know in the chat room, using the future perfect, what the answer is to one of these questions. By this weekend, I will not have watched any movies, plural you would want there. Or a movie. Masuma, by this weekend, I will not have plowed in the fields for 9 hours. Good. By this weekend, I will not have watched my favorite program. Well, that's too bad. Carol says it is smoked. Okay, good. I was right. Patricia, by this weekend, I won't have finished to learn English. Yeah, that's a good point. It's a learning process, isn't it? It's never ending, and I think it's helpful to think about it that way. Johnny, or ing, please tell me. Past participle or the ing? I think if you're using the ing, it would be in the future perfect continuous. I will have been studying at university for 5 years by next year. So it's a different tense you're speaking about there. But for the future perfect, getting into technical grammar now, you'd want to use the past participle. What will the baby have, though? Be creative. I don't know. It's a silly question, I know, but be creative with it. Faika, nice. She's thinking she will have lost 2 kilograms in the next month. Great. By this time next week, I won't be around here. I will not have been around here. You could say I will not have been around here by this time next week. But then he's already around there now, so it's kind of confusing. I don't know if that's the best way to use it there. The baby is thinking that by this time next year, I am 1 year old. Big girl. Nice, Linald. I like that. By this time next year, I am 1 year old, although you're not using the future perfect. Okay, so you could say, Daddy will have made a romantic move on the pretty lady next to us, or will Daddy have made a romantic move on the pretty lady next to us by the end of the morning? Perfect, Vivian. I like that. Sarah's watching. Hello, Sarah. When we reach Santa, will he have given all the presents to the other children? Interesting. Very nicely done. Mariano says, one day I will run like you, Mom and Dad. I will have seen my dad. Okay, interesting. Masuma, baby is saying, I will not have eaten, remember, past participle, anything for 2 hours. Will I have come back home by the beginning of the match? Will I have arrived back home by the time the match starts? You could say something like that. Will my parents have another baby soon? Nicely done. Although not in the future perfect, but I'm sure the baby is thinking that. Fatima, you could say, by this time next year, I will not have to, so it's again a different text, different tense. I will not have to sit in this stupid stroller. We call those strollers in English. And let me just switch screens here. Will the baby have cried when I touch him? See, we could use a different tense here too. You could say, will the baby cry when I touch him? Man is thinking, by a couple of years, our baby will be jogging with us. In a couple of years, our baby will be jogging with us. It's tough to use the future perfect in an example like this, isn't it? Because it is really quite a rare tense in English, but we do use it in certain situations, and it is good to know. Anyways, you guys, thank you for participating in this lesson. I hope you found it useful, and I hope that you now know how to use the future perfect in English. Okay, so one other announcement that I should make while all of you are watching here. This will be the last live lesson on this channel for a little while. The reason for that is next week I'm unavailable to do a live lesson. And after that, I'm flying to Ottawa, which is the capital city of Canada, to visit my brother who is living in Ottawa. I've never been out east over there before, so I'm excited to do that. And I'll be there for about 2.5 weeks. So while I'm there, I won't be doing live lessons. I will be releasing pre-recorded videos on this channel, though. There just won't be live lessons. I'll be taking a little break from the live YouTube lessons. Okay, so thank you for watching. If you're new, again, hit the subscribe button and leave a comment and let me know what you thought of this video. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. And have a great rest of the week, everybody. Enjoy your Wednesday. Take care. Bye-bye.